Hello, everybody. It's me, Bigfoot Mr. Rob. It's Saturday, August 17th. Time for another encounter story sent in by a subscriber or an emailer. And I got to tell you, I don't know what it is today with me. This is like the ninth take on this. No, I don't edit these, but I don't like to screw up terribly like I've done the prior 7 or 8 times. So we're going to try it again, and hopefully this will be the good one. I want to thank you all for subscribing to Bigfoot Mr. Rob here on YouTube. If you're new, please subscribe. I also want to thank people for buying my first book, Bigfoot Michigan Rob Presents True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1 found on Amazon. Book 2 was released Monday. Thank you for everybody that's already bought that. The handful, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Again, the link for both books will be on my YouTube page and in this video. I don't know what to make of this story. It's very creepy. It's got a werewolf or a dogman. It's got missing persons. It's creepy. That's why I love when you guys leave comments. So give me your take on it. I'll give you mine at the end of the video, like I always do. Thanks for joining me here today, and I'm going to get started. Hello, Rob. I've been a subscriber for you for some time now, and I've been very reluctant to tell this story. I did find it refreshing that you welcome all stories, regardless of how far fetched they may sound, and I do appreciate your welcoming manner. Thank you so much for that. This account took place 10 years ago, just outside of Youngstown, Ohio. Rob, as you well know, there are a lot of strange activities in Ohio, particularly in Youngstown. I know I screwed up that word. Sorry. I'm not redoing this. Yeah, I know Ohio's creepy. I didn't know much about Youngstown, and I did look it up before I put this out, so some things do go on out there. However, though, with this story, I'm not quite sure what this is. Something told me Dogman, but I've also heard about werewolves. Whether I believe or not, I'm not sure. That's why this story seems to be almost make believe. This is what I experienced, and I must remain true to the account. I would like to remain anonymous in fear of ridicule, and my employer, if he found out, certainly would not appreciate this. I joined a group of people that went on a Bigfoot expedition in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm not even going to disclose where this was, whether it is a state park or a national park, or even the whereabouts of what woods or forest this was for that matter. It was early morning on a Saturday, and we broke camp to explore. This group leader and 2 additional members accompany us into the woods. There were 7 people that signed up for this expedition, along with the group leader and 2 trackers. We went to explore looking for tracks, tree structures, scat, tree breaks, or any of the common traits that Bigfoot allegedly leaves behind. To our dismay, we found absolutely nothing. That morning, we started out about 8 a.m., roughly to about 4 p.m. We had decided to head back to camp and unwind, make some dinner, and put together a plan of action before going back out later in the evening. This is where the story goes ever so wrong. After the sun began to set, the organizers of the outing had provided us with a set of night vision binoculars, heat sensory, and FLIR equipment, flashlights, and other essentials needed for the nighttime adventure. I hate to sound redundant, but again, I need to state that we have a total of 10 individuals hiking through the woods. Yeah, there were 7 that signed up, but including the other 2 trackers and leader. The trail had been overgrown, making it somewhat difficult to walk along as we spread it out. Some of us managed, you guys, some of us managed to walk abreast of each other, while the rest of us traveled in single file. Then it happened. The forest grew still and eerily quiet. Some members of our group expressed fear and a feeling of dread, nothing as casual or as exuberant as the feeling prior to hiking earlier in the day. Then, very quickly ahead of the trail, a creature appearing to look humanoid jumped directly on the trail in front of us. When I mentioned humanoid, it was on 2 feet and stood maybe 7 feet tall. The head looked like that of a wolf. It really reminded me of that movie from An American Werewolf in London. It seemed to stand on the trail for about 5 seconds. Then, in a flash, it sped back off of the trail and disappeared into the tree line. This is not even the scariest part. The 10 of us gathered together in astonishment. The group leaders themselves even appeared to be in shock. We did not move from our spot, and we looked around at each other again in amazement. Certainly, we had gotten more than we had bargained for. Then, we all made eye contact with each other and noticed that one of our party members was missing. The party of 10 instantly turned to a party of 9. Terror and bewilderment takes over from our already confused and shocked minds. We must have double counted within the party and still only 9. We start to shout out for our lost member, with no return call back. We regrouped and headed back to camp, continuing to call out into the forest. The monster that we saw seemed irrelevant, as we were more concerned for our lost party member. And frankly, most assuredly, shock had taken over the group. The leaders of the group called the proper authorities, and the night search began as we looked to find our lost explorer. The search turned up empty until early morning. What we found that morning sent a chill down my spine. In the approximate area where we experienced the creature or wolf, covered in some brush, we discovered a neat pile of clothes. The clothes were nicely folded and stacked. The clothes appeared to be exactly what our lost member of the group was wearing that night, at least from our memories. Days went by, which turned into weeks, then months, when finally all rescues were called off. I do not know what happened that night. What did we encounter? What happened to our dear lost soul? We have all heard of werewolves, shapeshifters, dogmen. Are these just stories? Right? They have to be. I can't believe to this day what happened. I felt as though I lived through a nightmare. I do know this. Whether it was what we did or did not see, whether it was man or if it was beast, this is a mystery that I will never forget and always ponder and wonder what lurks in the woods. You know, there's a lot of things there in that story to unpack. Certainly part of the missing 411. I really would have liked to have known for my own personal, well-being. Excuse me, you guys. I'd like to know, the location, because certainly if somebody in this party turned up missing, it's got to be a record of it. Now, of course, for those that follow Dave Paulides, a lot of these missing accounts are never reported. I'm not so sure if this even happened. I reached out on an email to this guy because I wanted more information. Because although a good story, I wish I'd have known, where it was, what names were involved. And I get the guy. The guy was reluctant to send us in, reluctant to tell the story, as a lot of you are, and I do respect that. But I thought it was worth sharing. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. At any rate, it was pretty creepy. So give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. What's your thoughts on this? I will say this, it does happen. As you know me, I do believe that there are cryptids of the forest. I believe that there are missing 411. I do know that people turn up missing, whether it's by the hand of a human, an animal, or these cryptids, right? I thought it was entertaining. You tell me what you think. I'm Bigfoot Mystery Rob. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for buying the books. Book 2 is out on Amazon. Until next time, you have a fabulous weekend. Of course, I am Bigfoot Mystery Rob.